Hey everyone, it's Jenny Dietrich back for another Spin Sucks Inquisition. And today I have somebody who I have traversed across the internet with for many, many years, and we've never actually met in person. So I'm very excited both that I got to see her lovely face and her beautiful hair, and you get to see her too. So please tell us who you are and what you do.
So my name's Kait. I am a freelance writer and editor and social media marketer, and I work with small businesses in healthcare industries.
In the healthcare industry. So you're doing social media in really regulated industry, which is no problem at all.
Yeah. I work with entrepreneurs though, so it's like mostly, it's not super, it's kind of like anything goes, it's up to them kind of thing.
They're not working with the American industry.
Not working with like hospitals.
Right.
I'm not working with like crazy things like that. So
awesome. And you just went out on your own 4 months ago?
Yes, it's been 4 months. So
awesome. Good for you.
Far, so good. Thank you.
It's really, really, really exciting as somebody who's been doing it for 11 years. Hardest part is making the decision to do it. So you've got the part over.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So you've been doing this for 4 months. So I'm going to ask this question relative to the last 4 months. Okay. What is the biggest mistake you've made going out on your own?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's been so many. There's been so many. Like, where do I even start? In social media, like, there's only mistakes. But I think that overall, my attitude towards mistakes has just been the thing that's changed the most, and the thing that has been so important to me, like, moving forward. I used to be so terrified of mistakes, and now I understand that it's so important to, like, embrace them.
Yep.
Because being a writer, like, the mistakes you make in your early career exist on the internet forever.
Sure. Yes.
So, I mean, you have to move on from that. You have to, like, you can't stay stuck on that and, like, be afraid to do it again. It's just like, you have to move on. So,
well, that's good. By the time this airs, it will have been a couple of weeks, but we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary on the blog, and I always publish the first blog post, and it's horrendous. Like, horrible. I don't even know how I graduated from college when I read that blog post. So yes, I agree with you that what we write stays out there forever.
Yeah. But the only mistake is getting stuck on that and not being able to move forward.
Sure.
So,
which is really good. I just read an article. Who was it? A celebrity. I can't remember who. It was like Amy Poehler or somebody like that. And talking about how her dad, when they were kids, instead of saying what was the best thing that happened to you today or what was the favorite thing, that parents tend to ask, he would say, what mistake did you make today? Oh, I know who it was. It was the founder of Spanx. It was the founder of Spanx.
Wow.
And that's what he would ask, so that he would encourage them to embrace mistakes, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, that's super important. Especially today when there's just so many opportunities to, like, make mistakes publicly. Like, you have to embrace it. You just have to embrace it. Like, life is messy, your career journey is messy.
Like me sending the same email to our subscribers 6 times.
It happens. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I get so many email newsletters in my email that are like, oops, sorry. But it happens.
I didn't even do that.
Hey, like, you're human. I'm not going to, like, unsubscribe because you demonstrated a little bit of, like, being.
Well, you're nice. There's not everybody's nice.
Yeah. That's true. I am pretty nice. I'm accepting.
All right. So we're coming up on 2017, which is crazy that it's coming so quickly. What is one of the biggest trends that you're looking forward to for next year?
I would have to say Instagram stories, because I'm really interested in Instagram. I love Instagram as a platform. It's a lot of fun to work with.
Yes.
But I love Instagram stories because I think it takes video, which is, like, something that's such a valuable marketing tool, and makes it just so much more accessible and less scary for people.
Yep.
So my clients are interested in that right now, and looking forward to using that.
Do you like that better than Snapchat?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Why?
Because the user experience of Instagram is just so much better, I think. Snapchat, they don't really tell you what to do. It's hard. It's hard for a lot of people. I don't have fun with Snapchat. It's not fun to use for me. But Instagram is. Like, it's just so much more simpler. It's so much more simple.
And I think, too, that we've all sort of built our communities there, and then to try to go to Snapchat and do that again, it's like, oh, do we have to do this?
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
All right, Instagram stories. I'm holding you to that.
Okay.
What is one thing about yourself that would surprise most people?
A lot of people are really surprised to find that my mom is from New Zealand and I have dual citizenship for there. So, so that's kind of like a fun fact about me.
That's a great fact. Yeah.
I lived there for a bit when I was a kid, so I consider it to be like a pretty big part of my life, I guess.
Yeah. Does she still have that fantastic accent?
She does.
Does she?
Yeah. And she makes a killer pavlova.
Does she really?
Which is like the New Zealand dessert. So she's got it down to a science.
How often do you visit?
Oh gosh, the last time I went was like 8 years ago. So it was a lot.
And that's not an easy trip from Toronto.
No. It's like the furthest possible.
Yeah.
From Toronto that you can take. But yeah, it's worth it. It's totally worth it every time.
Dual citizenship. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's kind of a fun fact.
That is a fun fact. What are you reading right now?
What am I reading right now? I'm reading this book called, which is actually sitting right here, Creating a Life Worth Living by Carol Lloyd.
Love it.
The other day. I read it once and I had to read it again because it was really, really interesting. This author is the founder of a literary institution in San Francisco, I believe, and she's a writing instructor. And this book is all about like creating like a tangible map to your vision. So it's for like what I like to call creative generalists who really like the act of creating and like being in a creative headspace, but don't necessarily have a specific like my thing is writing or my thing is theater, or my thing is painting. It's like I just like creation. So this book is for people like that, and it's geared towards like creating more like tangible steps towards like a life that you think is worth living and like fulfilling. And
are you creating a life that's worth living?
I would like to think I am. This book is helping me a lot. It's interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of like journal prompts and things like that, which I really like of. So,
I'm going to check it out. That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to check it out.
It's kind of an obscure book, but it was hard to find. I found it in like this weird little used bookstore in Kensington Market here, and I was like,
really?
This is calling to me. So I thought it was interesting, so I picked it up, and it's good.
Huh, all right, I'm going to find it. I know that Netflix in Canada is maybe a dirty word, but are you a Netflix binger?
I don't think Netflix is a dirty word by any means. To me, it's like the best. I hit Netflix pretty hard. However, I'm not a huge binger. Like, it'll take a really engaging show for me to really
and binge. Yeah.
But I did binge. I guess I did what you would call binging with Stranger Things. I loved Stranger Things.
Oh, it was so good, wasn't it?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I've also been watching Chef's Table France.
Yep. I haven't seen that one, but I love that one too.
So good.
See, I'm saving all this stuff because I get stuck on the trainer all winter. So then I can watch. So Chef's Table France, I will watch. And now it's time for the difficult part of our Inquisition. See, I was easy. That was easy.
Okay.
We got to talk about lives that we want to live and being
I love it.
being our own boss. And now we have to deal with
me. I come in and just destroy. All right.
Before we started recording, I told her this was the hard part. So
it is the hard part.
She's prepared for you.
I'm ready.
I'm always very lucky that I'm on this side of the questioning and not the other side, because I think I would massively fail.
And it looks as though this is the, I should put mine higher up, is the Armand Dietrich hair choice of the day. Put mine higher up here.
Yeah, really can't. Don't have time to do
working from home fun, right?
Yeah, Kate, we're going to have to do it too.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, all right, here we go.
I'll put my hair back. Okay, ready.
She's totally doing it.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Let me get ready for this. You said it was the hard part. I gotta like.
You gotta prepare. Like, get serious. Get your hair pulled back.
It's the only way you can think quite as clear when your hair is in the bun. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's doing that. Jenny, will you please tell us 3 things that you always used to do on the first day of school?
Ooh, wear new clothes, count how many colored Sharpies I had, and show off my Trapper Keeper, which isn't true. I've never had a Trapper Keeper, but I said that for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel I'm going to have to
like there's a story there.
Yeah.
Laura's like obsessed with Trapper Keepers. Like,
I used to be obsessed. It was like a big deal what Trapper Keeper I got for the first, I'm going to buy you a Trapper Keeper. We're going to have some.
I don't need a Trapper Keeper.
Someday we're going to have Spin Sucks Trapper Keeper.
No, we're not. We're never having Spin Sucks Trapper. No,
we'll have
never happening.
Anyways, we'll discuss that. Okay. Would you please name 3 types of sauces?
Marinara, ranch, and honey Dijon. Those are more like salad dressings.
Salad dressings. That doesn't count.
Ranch is, you can use ranch.
True. All right. You're right.
Some people might use those as sauce. Yeah. It's like a new type of Alfredo with
right, I will
yeah, it's a new thing. It's a new thing.
You're not up on the new cooking trends, obviously.
She's watching Chef's Table. Maybe we're not up on them.
I don't know.
Okay, this is off to an amazing start. Jenny, would you please name 3 things you'd like to get in the mail?
Wine, a case of wine, and even just a 6-pack of wine.
So simple.
All I want is wine in the mail. I'm good.
That's good. All right. Consistency. It's very nice.
It's easy. Anybody want to send me something? It's easy.
Yeah, just send her a 6-pack of wine.
Do not much.
Half a case.
Okay, Kait, will you please name 3 excuses for being late?
The streetcar was jammed up. I forgot to turn my straightener off, so I had to go back and plug it up. And my alarm didn't go off.
I feel like the straightener one is a little close to home.
Yeah.
That's actually happened?
Yes.
Which you would have to go home and unplug it, because then otherwise it would like melt to death. And
well, yeah. And then you risk like your house going on fire. So
burning your house down. There's that.
Those details. Yeah. I feel like
details.
It's a small detail, burning the house down.
I feel like if I used anything like that, I'd constantly feel like I'd left it plugged in. That it would just be...
Not only that, but you would like have burns all over your neck. It looked like hickeys because you'd have so many burns.
Very true.
It's a bad idea for you.
This is why my hair is in a bun. Because this is what we do versus straighten our hair.
So I have to tell this story because it's a fantastic story. We had an intern who was, let's just say that there's a reason she was not offered a full-time job. And she called in sick one day because the apartment building was on fire, and she lived in a high-rise, and the elevators were not working. So they were like having to walk down the stairs, 1 floor by 1 floor because the building was on fire. And we were like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. Yeah, do what you need to do, whatever it takes. And then she called in sick the next day because, the elevators were out of order still. She lived on the 3rd floor. We were like, I kind of feel like living on the 3rd floor, you can take the stairs up and down. Get to work.
That's really funny.
That's one of my favorite stories.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, poor thing. I wonder what she's doing now. Poor thing.
Yeah.
She's probably still up there.
She's probably still up there. I can't figure out how to get down.
Yeah. Like, what do I do?
Probably true.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Ginny, would you please name 3 of your favorite Halloween candies?
Oh, yes. Candy corn, especially with peanuts, Snickers, and Butterfingers.
Candy corn with peanuts?
Oh, yeah. It's delicious.
Really?
It tastes like the inside of a Snickers without like the nougat part.
Wow.
I've never even seen those. Do they put the peanuts inside the candy corns, or do you just...
Good Lord, Laura. You buy a bag of candy corn, buy a bag of peanuts.
I was imagining like a Reese's peanut butter cup, but with a candy corn. And I was like, I've never seen, in all of my life, I've never seen a peanut stuffed candy corn, ever.
That sounds really good, though. That like should be a thing. It's gonna be a thing after this.
We should create this.
We should create it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That would be amazing. I would love that.
I mean, we're gonna have
You're
to think
never
of
living that down. You're never going to live that down.
How does that work?
I'm like, does it change the shape of the candy corn? Because I can't imagine like peanuts fitting in that. Yeah.
And speaking of Butterfingers, when my nieces and nephews were little, I would tell them all the Butterfingers had to be sent to me. And so every year I would get it. Speaking of getting things in the mail, I would get a package of Butterfingers. What I later learned is that, they would just go buy a bag and open it up and put it in a Ziploc and send that, not actually send me their trick-or-treat candy, but whatever.
It tastes better when it's been procured by Trick or Treat, right?
Right? I feel like, yeah.
Other people's labor.
Cheaters.
Right, when it's been in like a pillow sack for a couple of days.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe rained on, stomped on.
Picked through a million times.
Right, exactly. Okay, Kate, will you please name 3 letters you never want in Scrabble?
X, Q, and Y.
Yeah, Y is hard.
Why do you want it?
D is hard.
Y is the easiest of all those, but Q and X suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like 3 words you can make with those.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you have a Q and not a U, it's very stressful.
QI is about it.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting question, though. That's like very niche.
Yeah.
I do love Scrabble, though, so no letter's a bad letter.
That's
Especially if you can get a Q or X on a triple word.
great. Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Your
yeah.
money.
And you're killing it, yeah.
Your money, baby. Your money. Okay. Jenny, would you please name 3 football players? 3 football players. I wrote this really quick, and so autocorrect changed it. But the question: 3 football players you'd like to have on your fantasy team.
Oh, okay. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and I was going to make a joke about Robert Griffith Jr. or Robert Griffith III, but that's not going to work. God, I'm only thinking of the criminals, Johnny Football.
That's okay.
Criminals.
Everyone needs one criminal on the team.
Right, yeah.
I mean, otherwise it's not really.
Well, I can answer who I would not want on my fantasy football team, and that would be Jay Cutler.
Fair enough.
Yes. All right. Okay, will you please name 3 authors you'd like to meet?
Ooh.
I would love to meet Anne Rice. I would love to meet Tim Ferriss. I would love to meet Gretchen Rubin.
I feel like all of those are doable. You could probably meet Tim Ferriss at a marketing event.
Totally. Yeah, I would love to. I love him. He's great. She's around. I could probably meet her too.
Maybe you should ask which authors she has met that she has enjoyed meeting.
Which authors have you met that you've been absolutely astounded and amazed at their excellence?
Oh gosh, Betsy Borland is one that I love. She's an author that I met in Vancouver that I loved a lot. She writes about writing, and she wrote a book called Breathing the Page, and it was so great to meet her. And
Breathing the Page?
Breathing the Page, yeah. She teaches at SFU, and she teaches creative writing at SFU, and it was wonderful to meet her. She's full of wisdom and full of a lot of interesting insights about writing, for sure.
And I'm sure one of them, maybe Ginny Dietrich, is another. I think that was the purpose of that question. Another author that you've met that you've been astounded. I know her leading questions. I know.
Life. What was the book you're reading? Creating a Life Worth Living?
A Life Worth Living.
Thank you.
By Carol Lloyd.
I'm writing it down. And Breathing the Page. Okay.
Yes. Those are my two recommendations.
All right.
Okay.
Carry on.
Would you please name 3 foods you eat every day?
Honey Nut Cheerios, peanut butter and jelly, and cashews.
Cashews. Very good. I had Cheerios and peanut butter and jelly for you. Cashews, I didn't know.
Yeah. I was going to say Kind Bars, but I don't eat those every day.
All right. Last question. Kait, would you please name 3 chores you hate doing?
Vacuuming, washing mirrors, and sweeping my balcony.
Sweeping the balcony. Yeah.
Washing mirrors is hideous. That's a no-win situation.
But you can see the dust and the fingerprints, and then it comes off, and it's like instant gratification.
Yeah, but
it's just annoying. I don't know. Maybe Toronto's very dusty, and it's like very little return on my investment.
I have stainless steel appliances.
Oh yeah,
those are the most painful things in the world because it's just
totally agree with that.
Yeah.
All right then, Kait, please tell everybody where they can find you on the interwebs.
You can find me on the interwebs at kaitfowlie.com and on Twitter at Kait Fowlie.
And I will link to all of that in the blog post. Thank you so much for being here. It's so good to see your pretty face.
Thank you. It's so good to see your pretty faces. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a lot of fun.